look at the camera. I should look at the camera. I'm bad at looking at the camera because I'm trying to learn. Hello, welcome to Creativity, the podcast where art and engineering collide. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host, Jeremy Cook, and we are interviewing Matt Perks from DIY Perks. How are you doing, Matt?
I am very well, thank you. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, and I guess just to introduce you, I mean, to those that don't know, you were in the UK,
That's
correct?
right,
so
yeah.
You're, I guess, 5 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock in the evening here, so got a nice sunset off in the window there. So nice view from my end.
Time traveling.
Yeah, it's only, I guess it's what, about 2 o'clock here. So, and then, Pat, you're what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
About 1 in the afternoon. Oh, we've been telling people the dates anymore, haven't we? Today's May 17th, 2021.
Matt, we had you on the show about a year ago, and I guess obviously been a strange year for everyone. How is 2020? How have things been for you for the last year
busy,
or so?
Actually, because the channel, I've just been working so much on the channel that really for me it's been kind of almost like I haven't noticed that much disruption in my everyday life, really, apart from wearing masks and stuff out to shops. It's been fairly normal, and I've just been keeping busy using this year or the past year to just make as many videos as I can, as high quality as I can, and then hopefully I'll be able to make up for it and have a holiday sometime this summer. But just keeping busy, really. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. So you feel like you've actually been more productive over the last year than
I would
normally?
say so. Just more focused. Yeah, definitely just more focused. So yeah, it's not been too bad on my in my personal sphere from that. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Right.
Yeah. It was actually it was quite fun. The first bit of the lockdown. I know it's kind of it's the overall picture isn't obviously good, but from my own little personal view of that period of time was actually okay. Because there was a nice garden to go out in, and I've been building a cob house. Some people might have seen.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
I know what that is. I'm excited about cob houses.
Yeah, so it's a mix of, for those who don't know, it's a mix of clay and straw, and that's our mix. Sometimes you mix it with sand, but we just did it clay and straw because there was the ground round here is clay, and we were digging a pond. It's 9 feet deep, all by hand. So that's how I kept fit during lockdown, and so it's really, really deep, and we needed somewhere to put all the clay, and we decided to build a cob house. So we've been mixing it with all this straw, like literally by hand, trudging it.
Wow!
And then it's not huge, but it's really nice. If anyone wants to see it, at the moment it's on a sponsor spot on the video I made about the earbuds. So if they forward to about 10 minutes in, you can actually see it. But yeah, it's not finished yet, but it's cool. I've learned so much about building theory, such as how to control damp and good foundations, good roof. It's got a turf roof, so there's all sorts of things growing up on top as well. So it's really
cool,
really nice. Yeah, it was fun. It's so fun.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I assume that's going to be a video at some point in the future.
Oh dear, I'm gone.
Uh-oh. Not yet.
Can you?
There you go. Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go.
EOS webcam utility.
There, I'm back.
Webcam.
Yeah, so as I was saying, no, I don't plan on... I didn't initially plan on making a video of it because it's so off-topic. I usually do technology stuff, and then suddenly building something out of mud is... it might throw quite a few people. So
I don't know, Matt. I think that's technology.
Maybe.
It's different than what
so.
we understand, at least.
Yeah. I'll have to just build some LEDs into it or something, and then proper DIY.
Exactly. Just throw a couple LEDs on, and
build a computer into the wall. That would be perfect.
You joke, but I would watch that. That sounds awesome.
Well, we did record plenty of the build process, so I actually do have plenty of footage I can use. So I might do something. We'll see.
Nice.
It depends.
Awesome.
If anyone watching this wants to see it, let me know, and then I'll be able to gauge like the response, how if it's going to be popular or not.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
There you go. Well, I think that's one thing we kind of we're going to ask you. You've got a DIY Perks channel. Obviously, it's a lot about technology, et cetera, et cetera. But is there anything that you do or are interested in that you just can't put on your channel that you'd like to talk about? I mean, is that anything?
Usually it's there's a lot of different things I build or want to build, but don't see it necessarily performing well. So then I stop myself. So I have to be really, because it takes so long to actually produce a video, I have to be really selective with what projects I actually do. And it's so much relies on the title and the thumbnail. So if I do a video that I'm super passionate about, but doesn't necessarily have a good catchy title that's going to catch people's interest, there's almost no point doing it, because views could be low. So it's something I really concentrate on and focus on videos that at least have potential title-wise. But it could be me just trying to figure out how this whole YouTube algorithm works, and I might have the wrong picture, because it might actually be just
and
purely...
it changes all the time.
I know, yeah. It's so hard to gauge what does well, what makes a video succeed.
And then sometimes you don't even know why. Something that you think isn't going to work is just takes off.
Yeah.
Why does it happen?
There's been some projects that I've done out of lack of time. So I split one project up because I thought the second idea wouldn't do well on its own, but it turned out to do really well. And it was when I was making the invisible computer that was in that desk. It was in a desktop, and I intended to tackle the monitor as well in that same video, and I ran out of time because I had to just get it out for the sponsor. So I decided I'll do the monitor in a separate video, and I was so anxious about its performance. I thought, oh, this is going to be so really like a secondary idea. It's going to not be in depth enough, but it did really well. It was performed just as well. So it goes to show that you can't necessarily guess what's going to happen with a video. So.
Yeah. And they're both fantastic videos.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I love all your PC build stuff. I don't want to do any of it, though. I think that's okay.
That's okay.
I'm so used to my hardware. Things die, things break, things need to be replaced. And then I'd look at it and be like, oh, I have to take that table apart and put and now the new motherboard's something's not going to work. And then I'm going to be like, oh.
Yeah. There's one thing, like, if you build something yourself, it's sometimes you just don't want to touch it after it's done. So, yeah, I can totally see where you're coming from there.
Oh, yeah. Well, good for you on being selective. I feel like with me, I have all these ideas and just have to build them. And then sometimes they just don't get done. And sometimes, like you said, sometimes they're just not good for YouTube. And I still feel like I have to videotape them. And I don't know. I mean, good for you for figuring out how to let certain things go. I mean, I think that's...
Well,
and the videotaping's so much work.
Yeah, I know. It's I've gotten used to it, but it slows projects down. I would say at least... I think it makes things at least 5 times slower, at least. Because whilst I'm filming, I've got to think of a plan that other people can follow. So it's if they did want to make a project, I can't do something super like complicated and niche or something that's not clean. I have to think about someone who might want to recreate the project. So I'm constantly trying to think of how to simplify things rather than taking an easy shortcut like using a CNC. Because I have access to a CNC. I have for years, but I barely use it on the channel because I know very few people have one. So I always try and use hand tools where I can, keep it simple, even if it means that it takes forever to do some projects. Yep. But I mean, lately I've been...
You say that, but I mean, out of the people here, Pat, you have a CNC, correct?
Right.
I do as well. So just based on our sample.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I sort of think about it in a wider sense. I try and do videos sort of towards people. I mean, I think of where I was when I first started the channel. I had literally a coping saw, a drill, and a full saw, maybe some chisels, and they were sort of like kind of standard tools. And yeah, I think at that time that's all I had to work with. So it put me on that mentality to keep things simple. So it doesn't always work, and sometimes I have to balance it between keeping like the channel interesting, like projects interesting, because if I use super simple tools, it could get boring because if it limits things too much.
Sure.
So
and you have a much wider audience with if they can actually participate.
Yeah.
There's only 3 of us with CNC machines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did a poll, and I was surprised. Like 10% of the people who answered the poll actually try and recreate my videos in some sense. And
that's awesome.
That is a big number to me. I mean,
yeah.
I was really surprised. I thought it would be like 1%, but it was far higher. So that was really cool, actually.
That's amazing.
And I often get like pictures
that is
from
really
Twitter.
Cool.
People send me photos of like my projects that they've recreated. And it's like such a rewarding thing that people have actually taken knowledge from the things that I put out there and the designs and actually built them. So it's been super cool. That's been really
so
rewarding.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing. Well, I mean, you're quite the humble guy though, because you've got almost 3 million subscribers, or maybe you've surpassed that by this.
Oh yeah,
point.
I need to check.
It's really
that,
close.
I think it was so close. Yeah.
I was going to say I don't have enough data points to predict it. You were 2.98 when we asked you to be on today, and then 2.99 somewhere in between.
We are 2,997,512 subscribers. So I'm about 2,500 subscribers away from 3 million. So maybe
exciting.
During this stream.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wouldn't it be awesome if
that would be amazing.
Like this, that would be really cool.
So probably by the time we get well, you'll have to.
I'll keep an eye on it. We'll look at the end of the show.
I need a bell.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Certainly by the time we produce this.
That'll be a great milestone to come.
But yeah, we were looking at that. I was thinking we were looking at different countries in the world and stuff, and you have, let's just say 3 million subscribers for more or less. That means, you're right now, that's just over the population of Albania, but you're under Puerto Rico right now, which is
that's quite amazing.
I guess myself, looking at my channel, I'm let's see, right in between the Falkland Islands and Montserrat. But the UK fought a war with the Falkland Islands.
Where's Montserrat? Like, I've not heard of that before.
I've not heard of that, but apparently it says that the UK owns it. So, right. I shouldn't say owns it.
It's not good that I don't know about that as a Brit.
Yeah. If we have any listeners or,
Yes, can you imagine? That would be so cool. Hello, if you are from there.
Please do. Yeah, special shout out to you guys, and special shout out to the Falkland Islands, especially. That's it's possible all of my subscribers are in the Falkland Islands right now.
You never know.
Looking at that, I guess Pat, you've got the Pitcairn Islands beat.
Do I
so
really?
That's good.
Oh, I'm catching up to Vatican
I don't know if they have
City.
internet there.
That's exciting. I'm looking at Jeremy's notes here.
Yeah. Vatican City is sitting at 825 people. So I don't know. I guess I'm surprised there's not more people, because you see a lot of people at the Vatican.
Well, I suppose they're
visiting,
tourists,
but I guess they're just visitors,
not residents.
Tourists. Yeah. But they gotta have trashmen and people.
But they might live outside
plumbing, I suppose.
It's only a city. They might live in the suburbs that are not part of the
That's true.
The sovereign.
I'd imagine most people commute.
Suburbs,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe that'd be a pretty exciting job, I guess. But yeah, so anyway, Matt, we're very appreciative of you coming on our
Thank
podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much last time as well. So good to be back.
I was very jealous that I wasn't a co-host the last time that you were on. I was a little bummed out.
Saved the best till now.
Speaking of the last podcast, you talked a lot about how much you liked your jigsaw. Is that still your favorite tool? Or
I would say it's still the one I use and appreciate the most. But I don't know if I'd still describe it as my favourite. I don't think I have a favourite anymore. I think that period of time was just I was finding the jigsaw just like, wow, this is an amazing tool. So, I mean, I've been liking using my router, not the CNC, but the actual, just a router. I find, like, I have had it for a while, but haven't used it for projects much for the same reason of trying to keep things as tool minimal as possible. But yeah, I've been finding adding router bits for like chamfers and stuff. I did the first chamfer on the earbud project around the speaker hole.
Yep.
I was like, whoa, that looks so cool. Oh, thank you. Yeah, but when I used the router, I was like, whoa, I was like, I've done what? Like, it was so simple. It's been sitting in the cupboard for ages, and I was like, wow, the result was so cool. So I'll be using that more.
You have to do it again now.
Yes. I'm starting to introduce wood a little bit more, actually. I've not used wood as much recently, so I'm just starting to use it a bit more because it's so workable. Like, it looks so good when it's oiled up and stuff.
It is. Yeah. It is nice. It's amazing when you kick like a 2x4 from. I mean, not that you can afford a 2x4 anymore. I'm not trying to brag about how much money I have.
It's weird how much it's got. It's gone up here as well. Wood. It's crazy. Yeah.
Has it really?
Shut up.
Yeah, but it's amazing if and when you can find such wood. You take it. You finish it. You maybe sand it. You use a router on it. You stain it. Use some urethane. And it's like, wow, this looked not so good before, but now it's like it's this beautiful piece of. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's amazing. It's amazing what you can do with it with just a bit of
absolutely, yeah,
bit of love. I guess.
I keep saying I need to work with wood more because I put a piece of wood on my CNC a couple of months ago, and it's amazing how fast it cuts wood. I'm used to cutting these sheets of carbon fiber, these carbon fiber plates with tiny little end mills, and the tiny end mills you have to run them kind of slow. So
right.
And then I watched this 1/4-inch end mill just hog through wood like it's butter. It was. Yeah, I need to start doing that.
It's funny, Matt. You mentioned like using the not primitive tools, but the basic tools that somebody might have access to. And I come from a manufacturing background, engineering, et cetera, and I had never heard of a router until I was well into my 20s, and it's like, oh, I can get a CNC router, and then I knew what that was before I knew what a real router was, which is kind of ridiculous. I guess it depends on what you're
specialist
familiar with.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've been sort of just picking bits up as I go along. Like I make it look like I know what I'm doing, but really I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just sort of making it up as I go along. Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It really is.
Definitely.
Well, you can do that because I think I saw I don't remember what it was, but you said some amount of time per amount of time that you see on video. I mean, it was like hours for every second or something.
That included
like that.
Editing, filming, planning. Just the whole project takes that long.
It's so much easier to write about projects because you just have to take a few pictures while you're going through, and then you can just go back and even if you did it in the wrong order, you could just make it up and well, maybe not make it up, but you can fudge it a little bit.
Yeah, you can sort of fill it in with text. But if I miss
film it.
Yeah, if I miss a shot and I have no shot to use whilst I'm editing, I'm stuck. I can't just say,
I already cut the piece out of the other piece. I can't do it again. It's already got a hole.
I mean, there's been times where I've gone back, remade something because I haven't got a good shot of it. So, the actual amount of footage is usually for a project at least 10 hours long. That's not the building time. That's the amount of footage I have in the timeline that I then edit down to 10 minutes or
not just out of the camera. That's what you've put on the. That's what.
I shove it all. I shove it all in the timeline, and then I just go through writing my script, and then pull out the clips as I need it. So it's a really fast way of working. Actually, I quite like that way of working because you just use the timeline as like a workboard kind of thing, and then just shove everything
shuffle around.
Yeah. So it works well for my workflow, and I like that's why I like 144 hertz computer monitors because I whiz the mouse around like so fast. I like that that responsiveness. If I go to 60 hertz, I'm like, this is slowing me down. So that's why I like, fast computers and things.
Well, nobody can argue with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you, if you're a fan of high refresh rate monitors and high response stuff, are you a gamer?
Well, I wouldn't describe myself as a gamer because I just don't have time to play any games. Really, I have taken to playing Rocket League for when I have a spare 20 minutes or something. I love Rocket League. It's fun. It's addictive.
we used to play Rocket League at our makerspace on Saturday nights.
Nice.
It was
that
fantastic.
Must have been fun.
Just 4 people at a time. Yeah, we used to play 4 against the internet. Half of us were terrible. It was fantastic.
That sounds fun. Yeah. So I wouldn't describe myself as a gamer, but I am interested in that side of things. I always have been, and I like. I've actually finally gotten around to playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's what I've been playing the last 2 months.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Amazing.
I've been playing the heck out of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it blew me away.
fantastic.
Like I couldn't believe how engaging it was. I've never played a game where it feels like you really are in that period of time.
Yeah.
And
It's
I was
so well done.
Yeah, I was blown away as well with the graphics and
Yep.
the art, just the subtlety of everything.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's no wonder it won so many awards. It's incredible. Like that should be, like it's a prime example of games really and what they can be. So
Yep. It's huge. It's relaxing most of the time.
yes,
It's fantastic.
Well, the first time I'm still in the fairly early chapters, and I still haven't gotten used to like shooting and stuff because I'm playing on a gamepad and I'm a keyboard and mouse guy. And I went. There's someone in the woods calling for help. It's the first time when you reach the woods after the snow and stuff. And I went for a stroll, just to explore the woods and things with my horse. I heard someone calling in the it was a cliff down the cliff, and I was like, oh no, someone! And there was a cougar sound. I must go and save this person. So I ran round and went down the cliff to get to this person, and promptly got eaten by a cougar. So,
I know this feeling.
yeah. So I was like, oh no! It was fun, but also quite stressful.
Yeah.
But at least you can sort of respawn, and it's not reality. So you're
Yeah, you get to try again usually.
yes. Yeah, but I like how
Yeah, better than getting eaten by a cougar in real life.
But I like
guess.
how it sort of makes you feel like genuinely anxious for your character. You don't want him to get mauled by a cougar, but sometimes it happens, and it was a bit realistic. So, but it was fun. So.
I was a bit sad the other night. I lost my fancy Arabian horse. I named him Larry.
Oh,
And
poor Larry.
I jumped a train to rob the train, and about 10 seconds after I'm on the train, it gives me a message that says my horse is critically injured. I'm like, he's not even here. What happened to him? So I went to jump off the train to go use the horse reviver on him, and as I was about to jump off the moving train, it went over a bridge. I fell off the bridge. I died, and I respawned on my old horse.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just done. And I didn't even notice it at first. I'm like, oh, my horse is back. And it was the wrong horse, and it was gone, and I'm never going to have
Why
it
doesn't
back again.
Larry get a respawn?
That's
not
right?
fair.
Yeah, I'm so bummed out about poor Larry.
Oh, well, you can, hold him dear in your heart.
Yeah, I'll remember Larry, for sure.
Yeah. Tribute to Larry.
Yeah.
Larry the horse.
Poor
Yeah.
Larry.
Well, I guess you shouldn't have left him in the unheated. What did the train car he was in get too hot or something? Did
Usually
you
the horse
suffocate
follows the train when you're on a train. But he must have run right off when a bridge must have showed up, and he must have just, Superman right off. I would have loved to see that, but I didn't get to see it.
Oh.
So what do you think? He hit a cactus or something, and he was following the train and he broke his leg or something?
Something like a Roadrunner thing. The coyote. He must have, something happened to him just like the coyote. I wonder if he ran off the cliff and just didn't notice right away, like the coyote does. You know, look down and then you fall.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I like video games, but like you said, Matt, I just don't have time to play them, and I guess I have less time than you because I have never played Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. It's worth it if you can spare
and,
an hour or two a day or something.
Oh yeah. Well, and I got a Macintosh as well, so now it's like these games that I kind of liked. It's like they may or may not be available. Yeah. So
how are they new Macs, by the way? Because is it an M1 one by any chance?
I think it's just I got it just before the the new processors came out, like true. The integrated. So I don't know, because basically I've been told there were rumors it was going to come out, but my PC decided to the motherboard decided to burn itself up, so I needed a new computer right then. So it burned itself up, and I think the next day I had a Macintosh. So credit to their shipping and stuff. It was
that is fast.
Do you guys use Amazon for like products and stuff? Speaking of quick delivery.
Yes.
Because I mean that's one thing I've done lately. I never used to touch Amazon. I thought it was like overpriced for project parts and just not as much selection. I used to always use eBay, but lately I've just been using Amazon Prime, and things have been arriving like, I need this in a project. I'll buy it now, and it arrives the next day. It's like changed the way I work, and I need things fast. So
you don't need to keep an inventory of the stuff that usually comes from China, where you got to order 100 of them to make sure you don't run out the next time.
Yeah. I mean, it costs more, but when you've got a timeline, you need to keep going. Yeah. So.
Well, and I always think like, well, I need these bolts, and they're 25 cents, but it'll take me like an hour to go to the store and back, or I could be, you got to think of the value of your time too, and it's I hate it, but it's like, well, you got to kind of do it, or you're going to be wasting a lot of your time / money doing that. So, at some point it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I actually I miss going out to like hardware shops. I sometimes decide to just go to a hardware shop so that I can enjoy the experience of looking at things. And
you get ideas when you see new.
Yes, because I mean I went to one a while ago, and I was like, whoa, look at these wooden profiles. Just these they must have been just like machined or something. Just wooden profiles. I was like, these are going to be so handy. I didn't know that you could get them. So it was just pay to actually explore every now and again, to see what there is, and because you just don't get that online necessarily. So there's always a balance of things.
What is a big hardware store in the UK?
B&Q.
I don't even know.
B&Q, Wix. There's other ones. They're
B&Q.
Yeah. They own DIY.com.
Oh, wow.
So if you type DIY.com, that takes you to B&Q. But yeah, they're kind of a bit consumer focused. So I think you've got like Lowe's, is it, in America or something?
Yeah, Lowe's and Home Depot are pretty identical.
Yeah. So they're not like super technical. Like they don't sell things at good value necessarily, like sheets of aluminium or brass. But they have a surprisingly decent selection. But I do wish that they had like a bit more niche things as well, like Arduinos or something. A bit more technical. There's
right.
In the UK, there's a massive hole in the maker kind of realm, and a company could come in and have maker spaces in the shops, the hardware shops, because there was a place called Maplin. And I have a friend who actually used to work at Maplin, and they really missed an opportunity because they went to like focused on like toys and stuff, which is far away from what they kind of their roots and things of electronics parts and things. So yeah, there's a massive hole where a company, and I'm saying this now just in case someone at the company sees this.
Maybe they're listening.
Yeah, because imagine a place that you could go to that had maker spaces, really cool technology, like 3D printers, people who could help you with things. I think it's proven that people make things at home, and there is an interest. And if there was a store like that in the UK, I would definitely be there quite often.
I always wished at our makerspace we could afford to stock electronics things at least, but boy, we had no. We were barely getting by. It was
right
while I was
right.
there. It was
yeah,
it was tough.
Right. Yeah, I wonder how you could.
And if you are at that store, I'm sure you could get Matt to represent you for a reasonable price.
I'd be totally behind something like that. Yeah,
it would be
I
cool.
love it. Like, I'd love more people to make stuff because I think that it's it gets you thinking differently, and it's really fun. Like, it's really fun, and you can make your dreams come true, quite literally. Your idea that is yours, even if it's for something so niche in your life, you can make that happen if you just have the opportunities. You know, if people are given the opportunities, they'll usually take them.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
Ever since I got my 3D printer, that's the best thing I've ever bought, because every problem around the house becomes it's
solved.
like my hammer. It's my hammer,
Yeah.
and everything else is a nail. And there's so many things you could just do.
Yes.
Especially when you could start designing things, even if it's just simple things. It's amazing.
Yes.
What you can
Yes. I mean, I actually stayed away from 3D printing for a while because I thought this was like really early on. I thought it was mostly based on like figurines and stuff. But then when I realized I could make parts with it, I was like, my mind was blown, and it was, wow. You can see it's such a shortcut. It's a revolutionary shortcut. Just being able to make a part quickly on the computer, boop, and then you get it in plastic. It's amazing.
And the machine does the work for you.
Yeah, I guess just think of that. I have something on my headphone stand.
Right.
I've got it right here.
Perfect.
I can just put it on and yada yada yada.
I like it.
Anyway, so then you stick it back on there. It's magnetic. And I have no idea what you said about that. You might have
We
might
were
have thought it was awesome.
We
Might have
said
thought it was
amazing
terrible.
things about it,
Yes.
Jeremy. You wouldn't believe
Yes.
it. Wait till you hear it when we edit this video.
Yeah. Well, if it's in there, they said something nice. If not, then it's...
You ought to just cut it out so that it leaves the audience wondering what we said.
Well, listen, speaking of audience wondering, I was thinking maybe we'll take our coffee break, and then when we come back, we can get to some of the questions that we have and some other questions that we got on Twitter, and I think that'll be a really, really great conversation.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds fun to me.
Okay, very cool. Well, all right, we'll talk to you in just a minute.
That's not even coffee.
So. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the coffee break. This is Pat and I. How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Jeremy?
Good. And as you guys know, during the coffee break, we always give our top 5 Patreons a nice shout out. So we want to give a shout out to Michael Sizer, Raptor, creatively spelled, Stuart Morrow, Positive Waves, and Stephen Booker. Thanks so much for supporting us. That's really, really awesome. And I want to give an extra special shout out to Michael Sizer, a new Patreon. He's got a YouTube channel that looks really cool. He's got a desk that he made that looks really neat. He's really new with YouTube, and it'd be awesome if you checked it out. Gave him you subscribed, yada yada yada. That'd be cool. So we'll put a link to that in the description if you guys want to check it out.
Well, now that you let me know about it, I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, you definitely should. And Pat, if somebody did want to become a Patreon, how would they do that?
Jeremy, would you believe that I do know how to become a patron of us now?
Well, I was wondering about the website myself.
I'm going to spell it correctly and everything. You could go to patreon.com/thecreativitypodcast.
Nice. So what was that again? Am I correct in saying that it's the Creativity Podcast? No, wait, that's not even right. So Pat, am I correct in saying? Pat, am I correct in saying that the website is patreon.com/thecreativitypodcast? Would that be a correct statement?
That would be absolutely correct.
Okay.
And this is the first time we've both gotten it correct in the same episode, I think.
Yeah. So that's great. So yeah, thanks so much for supporting us. And I guess the other way you can support us if you YouTube, like it, subscribe, even leave a comment. That'd be awesome. Or on SoundCloud too. I suppose you can leave us a comment there, right? Right, Pat?
Yeah,
I
you
think?
absolutely can. There's a like button
Yeah.
of some sort there. And
Yes.
all of that helps us out a lot and makes us excited to keep doing it.
Yep, that's absolutely
Keep
true.
doing
So,
this,
yeah, so
right?
yeah, you can't really say it when it's this, I
This.
suppose. Yeah. So, anyway, all that being said, we'll continue with the show right now.
I was going to hum the little jingle.